Today I would like to show you how I make a bail or a little sterling finding to showcase an individual bead. A lot of the jewelry that I make is put together with little screw mechanisms, a little tap and die, and I want to show you how I do that. I make the bail on top, the little ring, big enough so you can easily put almost anything through it to wear it on a silver chain or even on a cord. And I'll show you the process of how I go about making that little sterling tap and die bail. The beads that I made here are on mandrels that are a 3/32 inch diameter or 2 millimeter diameter. And then I will use 12 gauge sterling wire that fits really nicely into the hole. I'll put all the sizes and gauges that I use here in this demonstration in the show notes, but I really could use any size hole, in the bead, and I would just have to plan ahead and make changes accordingly with the gauges and the sterling that I'd be using. I'm using a 256 die set into a handle, and the die is what makes the threads at the end of the silver wire. Sometimes I find it a little tricky to get the die going at the beginning, but once I have a few threads cut, then it goes much more smoothly, and it's really a satisfying feeling cutting nice threads on a piece of wire. Here at this time I like to measure how much post I'll need to fit into the specific bead that I'm working with, and then I'll cut that to the length that I want before moving forward. Next, I like to cut or tap the same size threads, the 256 threads, now into a piece of tubing. And here I've chosen tubing that has a really heavy wall thickness, and that will give me enough material to cut the threads into. And I seem to always double check and triple check before moving forward to the next step. I really like to see how those threads fit into each other. Now I'm using a 10 gauge silver round wire that does not fit into the bead hole. Basically, I can use any size wire as long as it's bigger than the hole of the bead. And my plan is to shape the wire and make a small decorative finial that will show at the bottom of the bead. This is a small detail, but I get a really big kick out of making such a tiny little component. I keep on saying that someday I'm going to get myself a baby lathe to work metal on, but until then, this works just fine. Here I am taking that tiny finial and I'm soldering it onto the end of the threaded rod, and I always make sure that I take care not to damage at all the threads on that rod when I'm grabbing it with the tweezers or doing any soldering. So that's something that I make sure to take care of. And here's another little check to make sure everything fits. And I'll use the threaded tubing that I just created and measure to see how much I need to cut off in order to make the top part of this finial. I'm going to make a little cap on the end of the threaded tubing, and typically I just look for a little piece of scrap silver that I have at the bench because it's such a tiny piece that I need. And in this case I have a lot of scrap of 24 gauge sheet that I'll be using. When I solder the cap into place, I'm really careful not to flood the piece with too much solder, because if a lot of solder gets flooded up into the threads that I just cut, then it'll be really difficult for the piece to screw together properly. Here is another chance to make sure that everything fits properly. And I'll use this post now as a sort of handle in order to file that top cap into the shape that I want. Once the cap is filed and everything is working properly, I like to consider the shape of the ring or the actual bail that will sit on top. And I've used all sorts of different size wires. In this case, I'm using a 12 gauge wire. I work the opening of this ring to fit as snugly as possible to the threaded tubing, and I want it to look really seamless, so I really take my time to file that to make the fit as clean as possible, and that will help when I'm soldering to eliminate a lot of extra cleanup. In this particular project, I'm using medium solder for all the little parts that I'm putting together. You know, in the past, sometimes I've used a harder solder for putting the cap on, and then a medium solder when I put the ring on. The most important thing that I'm paying attention to is that no extra solder gets flooded into the threads that I just cut, to make sure that all the parts will then screw together in the end. I love the look of a handmade finding on a handmade bead. And I've always been fascinated by little mechanisms throughout history, like handmade screws and latches, and how things can be put together and perhaps even taken apart. And this is really what inspired me to make a finding like this so many years ago. Before I wear a piece of jewelry like this, I really like to use a liquid thread locker on the threads to make sure the finial will not come undone when worn. And I use one that is not completely permanent in case for some reason I'd like to disassemble and take the piece apart someday. My hope is that this demonstration will give you a little inspiration and some ideas for experimenting on your own work. And for all of you out there, happy making!